The European Commission has initiated a legal infringement procedure against Hungary once again, this time targeting the recently enacted Defense of Sovereignty law. This legislation aims to counter foreign election interference, mirroring an EU bill that's currently in the works.
Welcome to TFIGlobal, the antidote to mass delusion.
Introduced late last year, the Defense of Sovereignty law was a direct response to a foreign financing scandal involving united opposition parties during the 2022 parliamentary election. Before the election, these parties received over $10 million in clandestine campaign contributions from US organizations affiliated with the Democratic Party. Despite foreign financing of political campaigns being prohibited in Hungary since 1989, the opposition attempted to circumvent the law by using intermediary entities, including friendly NGOs and dubious accounting firms, to cover their tracks badly. Their attempts were exposed as courts later confirmed, contradicting their claims of funding through individual microdonations. The bill is meant to complement existing electoral laws by introducing specific mechanisms to prevent a recurrence of similar issues again. It establishes an independent government body tasked with investigating the activities of political candidates and the organizations financing them. Additionally, it addresses entities involved in influencing electoral outcomes when suspicions arise about foreign interference. This newly established office would generate annual reports offering recommendations for the government. Subsequently, the government could refer each case to the courts for the determination of unlawfulness, potentially leading to punitive measures. The decision for the EU's infringement procedure was made public on Wednesday, February the 7th. In the announcement, the Commission echoes the arguments of leftist NGOs critical of the law, suggesting that it might be exploited to stifle opposition voices. According to the ruling, the law contravenes several EU rules and principles, including freedom of expression, freedom of association, electoral rights of citizens, and the democratic values upheld by the EU. Before the law even saw the light of the day, the US Embassy in Budapest, led by the outspoken Ambassador David Pressman, emerged as its most vocal critic. In a less than diplomatic tone, Pressman claimed the law posed a greater threat to democracy than its Russian counterpart. Ironically, it's considerably milder than the US's analogous Foreign Agents Registration Act, or FARA, which incidentally served as the primary inspiration for Hungary's bill, adding a twist to the irony in the wake of the European Commission's decision to launch an infringement procedure on Wednesday. The EU is putting the finishing touches on its own FARA equivalent, the Defense of Democracy package. This package mandates foreign-funded NGOs operating in Europe to disclose their finances, aiming to expose foreign political influence and paid disinformation. However, the plot thickens as the European Union deems Budapest's actions as a breach of its norms, even when it has every reason to protect its democracy from interference. And when the majority of the population supports the new measures, Budapest finds itself in a curious position regarding European Union norms. Beyond the evident US interest, especially in the aftermath of the 2022 scandal, the EU could also be vested in the matter. Investigative journalists uncovered that in the previous year, a commission-operated aid initiative known as the Citizens' Equality Rights and Values, or CERV, program exhibited a notable bias. It disproportionately allocated hundreds of millions of euros in funding to NGOs in Hungary, openly opposing the government and its policies. EU taxpayers' money is being used to finance political activists that are taking action against democratically elected governments. It is simply astonishing, Thomas Deutsch commented to the European Conservative after the revelations. Predictably, Brussels is well aware that a direct assault on Budapest for curbing foreign financing in political campaigns is impractical given its illegality in most countries. Therefore, it cleverly employs the freedom of expression angle as a savvy marketing strategy. Despite international NGOs acknowledging that the law doesn't explicitly mention media organizations, it grants the Office for Defense of Sovereignty the authority to scrutinize the finances of media outlets if there is suspicion of foreign funding influencing electoral outcomes. Theoretically, this could deter opposition journalists from expressing their views, leading to allegations of a freedom of expression breach. The argument persists that if there were no underhanded tactics involved, there would be no cause for concern. While everyone is entitled to express their views, the concern arises when journalism becomes a tool influenced by foreign quote-unquote donors in election matters. Notably, a recent competition backed by EU and American funds and overseen by the US Embassy allocated nearly 300,000 euros to Hungarian media organizations predominantly favoring hardcore opposition papers. The relentless assault on the defense of sovereignty bill should be enough to justify its existence in any country, especially Hungary. Regardless, the Commission's decision grants Hungary a mere 2 months to fire back with a formal reply addressing the alleged law grievance. Brace yourself for the bureaucratic tango. Brussels might drop a comprehensive report launching another lengthy legal charade that may or may not culminate concrete sanctions.